How's it going, everyone? Um, it's me, V. Gonna talk to you. Nekem is to change something. I guess I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit of what it's like to be an indigenous man in this country and in society today. It's super lonely. It is probably one of the it sucks because those of us that are made out to be monsters and assholes and whatnot, we're not. And it's hard because, I have these knee-jerk asshole reactions because I was never taught the right way. My mom was a survivor of the residential school, and my dad was a drug dealer who was murdered when I was 9. I grew up off and on the reserve. I went through a lot of abuse, physical, emotional, sexual, and a lot of that contributes to how I act today. And it's I'm trying to change it, but it's hard. I tried getting involved in groups, and because of my temper and whatnot, people don't want me around. And I'm trying to change it. It's just people are trying to help wounded people, broken people, and it hurts. I go back to the reserve and I get treated different. I go back to other reserve. I go to different reserves and I get treated different. Here in Edmonton, I get treated different because I'm not Cree and I don't know their ways and I'm so fucking lost and alone. I don't like this lone wolf mentality. I don't like it. I don't like where I'm at. And I know a lot of other indigenous people that are in the same boat. That get kicked out of groups, out of treatment centers, out of all of these places that are supposed to help them because they can't deal with their anger, they can't manage their emotions, because they have mental health issues, because they have undealt trauma that they haven't dealt with, and it's pretty fucking lonely. What COVID, has since it started, I've been interacting with people online and shit, but I live alone. And the isolation really hurts. I mean, I should be adjusted to this kind of isolation by now because there are a lot of people that don't want to talk to me because of my temper, because they're afraid of me. And I know there are a lot of other indigenous people out there that are going through the same shit. The ones with anger issues, the ones that have to fight everyone, the ones that are afraid. Because at the end of it all, that's all it is fear. I'm afraid I'm going to get hurt. I'm afraid you're not going to like me. I'm afraid I'm not good enough. I'm afraid of everything. So I react with anger and whatnot because it's what I know. People aren't willing to give people the time of day to change. So the rest of us, the indigenous people in Canada, the ones that aren't, part of the murdered missing indigenous, the ones that aren't part of the 60s scoop, the ones that didn't go to residential school, the ones that are incarcerated, the ones that are homeless, the ones that are in mental health institutions because of the trauma that hasn't been dealt with, and because we're forced to be alone. It sucks. And you think I'd be used to this by now, but I'm not. People want to portray me as this fucking monster, this asshole, this abusive piece of shit. And they don't want to give me a chance or the time of day to change. Do they not understand that I went through here? Do they not understand that people like me, indigenous men and women, have gone through years of abuse? So yeah, we act out with abuse. And people wonder why our recovery rates are so low, why our suicide rates are so high. Not a day goes by where I don't think about killing myself because of the lonely, empty feeling that I have. I can't go do drugs again or drink. So the only other option is suicide, but then I can't do that because I'll hurt the people that I love. So then I'm just living with pain that I can't escape. I try and make better every day by making the world a better place, but then people just remind me of what kind of piece of shit I was or am to them. And people want to know how to support minorities, especially here in Canada, in Western Canada. Support us Indigenous men. The ones that are angry, the ones that are scary, the ones that you walk across the street when you see them coming. Those guys. Because we're all pretty lonely. I'm pretty fucking lonely. And we just, I don't know. Being an Indigenous man in Canada is probably one of the most challenging lifestyles to live because either people are afraid of you, they hate you, or they have all these misconceptions of you, and they want to remain ignorant to you, to them, to us. And it fucking hurts. I see, I just see people doing stuff with I see people doing stuff together and being happy together, and it's like, man, I hope I have that one day. That's all I'm trying to create. That's it. A lot of people say, you brought this onto yourself. Your anger, your hate, your rage. When are we going to stop punishing angry, wounded people and just say, yo, dude, give you a hug. I love you, bro. It's going to be all right. We can get through this. I'm not going to hurt you. Because I really want to see things change. And I know it's not going to happen overnight. It's just, you really want to help us minorities. You want to help indigenous people. I'm not trying to take away from the Black Lives Matter movement or whatever. I'm just saying, maybe reach out to the minorities that you don't feel comfortable with, the ones that you're afraid of. Because maybe they're just as afraid of you as, you are of them. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they just need someone to say, hey, how's it going? And give them a hug or a handshake or something. Because that is what our types are looking for. That's what we're lacking. And that's what I try and put out into the world is, I try and tell a lot of my bros, I fucking love you, man. I love all my friends. Ones that watch all this stuff. I love you guys because it's keeping me alive. Because I feel alone. Because I feel like I don't belong. I have this stupid fucking status card. And that's all it is. I have a tribe. I belong to a band. But I don't know shit about them. And you'd think that fellow natives would want to work with fellow natives, but we're so fucked up that we can't work with each other. I don't know. It's a pretty fucking lonely lifestyle being indigenous in Canada. People are afraid of us, and I don't blame them. We're scary people. It can be, but just as scary as we can be better people. And maybe if people would just give us a chance and hear us out, we could change. I just want to see change, and I don't want to feel so alone. Because a lot of indigenous people, the angry ones that get told that we're not allowed to come around because we're angry or whatever, we're just upset because we're alone. We hurt because we're alone. And ones that befriend us, whatever you want to say, call it whatever. It's those are the ones that get us through the day, because genetically, I should be adjusted to growing up in a community with other people working together to build and keep a community strong. But I think the closest thing I have to that community is my bro, and my bros and their sister just kind of across the street, and I'm lucky to have that, because that's what I had back home when I was on the res. They're not my kind, but they are. I miss home. I miss the mountains. I miss fishing. I miss all of that stuff. And people say that you can go back, but there's not a whole lot to go back to just yet. And then there's not a lot that I haven't finished yet. So I got to finish what I'm doing out here. But those of us that leave the reservation, we're pretty isolated and alone. So it's like I try and stick it out here where I go back home. I just don't want to give up out here. I don't want. There's a lot that I have to accomplish, and some days it feels like it's just me. I know I have a lot of friends now that are helping, but before that, it was just me. Lonely, empty person, and if you really want to help, come talk to us. Give us a chance. Maybe we'll change. Maybe we'll surprise you, and we'll make the world a better place because you gave us a moment. You gave us that little push of love and care that we're so desperately looking for. So yeah, it's just a little bit of what it's like to be an Indigenous person in Canada. It's pretty fucking lonely. Have a good day.